Matchroom Boxing. This is Wood v Conlan, March 12th, Nottingham Arena. Thanks for all of you for turning out, coming today. I've got a friend here who would like to play a little tune on his instrument. If you're around somewhere, have a listen. You ready?
Thank you, Lee, and just want to now pass over to my trumpeter over here. Thank you, Lee, thank you, Michael, and thank you, Nottingham, for coming out today. I tell you, it was actually 10 years this May coming that we were sat here for Carl Froch against Lucien Butte, and 10 years, of course, since we were last in the Nottingham Arena for a major fight night, a World Championship fight night. That night still reminds me of how great boxing is, one of the greatest nights in British boxing history. And of course, coming up on March the 12th, we have another tremendous night. We've been wanting to come back to this city for a long time. Now we've got the excuse to do it with a brilliant fight. The world featherweight title between Nottingham's own Lee Wood, of course, and Belfast Michael Conlan. It's such a brilliant fight for both guys. For Michael Conlan, he's got the profile, he's got the amateur pedigree. For a long time, he's been widely regarded as a world champion in the weighting. And this young man to my right, that you guys should be very proud of, because he's done it really the hard way in the pro ranks. Small hall shows, fighting as the away fighter, suffered defeats probably when he shouldn't have, taken last minute fights. And in our back garden in the summer, produced one of the best performances from a British fighter for a long time, dethroning Kanzu to become the world champion. And now, on March 12th, you guys get the chance to celebrate your own world champion. It's always great when you've got a kid from the city. Now, this is not a kid that's moved to Nottingham. It's not a kid that's sort of stayed there for a little bit. This is your kid through and through. A Nottingham boy that gets a chance to defend his world title in front of his people. Live on DAZN, March 12th, Nottingham Arena. The tickets from these guys on the pre-sales have gone mad. You know, we looked at this venue. We talked about Madison Square Garden, we talked about Belfast. Michael's a huge ticket seller in Belfast and Ireland as well. This guy's a champion. I think Nottingham was the place to do this fight, and Michael accepted that. He's ready to bring a huge amount of support from Belfast and Ireland, and we'll be there tomorrow for the press conference as well. But well done to both guys, because this is a tremendous fight. Of course, we're joined by both fighters here today, but also by Jamie Conlan, former great fighter himself with Conlan Boxing, and Ben Davison, who's been such an integral part of the development of Lee Wood over the last year or so to position him as a world champion. We're going to hear from those guys first. Jamie, obviously well invested in this fight with Conlan Boxing, but also as your brother. This is the one you've been waiting for, opportunity for him to become a world champion, and a brilliant fight.
Yeah, definitely. I believe it's destiny. Michael Conlan has always been tipped in Ireland to be one of the best boxers ever to come out of the country. He's proved that as an amateur. He's done it. He's become the only male world champion from Ireland as an amateur. He's progressed nicely as a pro. And when the opportunity to come to Nottingham came up, and there was a bit of bitching and moaning, we were very happy, because when we sat down, me, him and my father, we said to Nottingham, that's what it's meant to be. To become world champion, you must go to the opponent's backyard, beat him in front of his own family, his own friends. That's how you do it. That's how you estate legacy. That's how you build something even greater than what's already been built, than being built up, fighting in your own city all this year. So when we were talking about this, when we sat down, that added everything in us, like the energy that's coming across from Ireland, the ferocity that's going to be in the hostile arena. And we're very excited, very proud as a brother, very proud to be a part of his career, to see him progress, to get to this moment. But this is the one, this is destiny.
Does that give you a little bit of a chip on your shoulder fighting you know, as almost like the away fighter. I know you're going to have thousands of Irish in the arena on March 12th, but you two just sitting up there at the back there, you know, normally you'd be fighting at Belfast or in front of so many fans yourselves, where you kind of feel like that you are the underdog in this situation. I know you believe you're the favourites in this fight, but definitely an underdog mentality, no?
Underdog mentality.
I never fucking walk in any arena with a favourite mentality. I put that mentality in my head since I was a baby. Underdog, ready to take anything and go against anything. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. There's two of us, only two of us came. Two of us came here.
For like, mate, you know
That's alright, yeah, for sure. But I'm saying, you fancy yourself in this fight, don't you? You see yourself as a strong favourite in this fight.
Myself, every fight. I have answers for anything anybody does. So we'll see.
And Jamie, for you, obviously a very proud moment with Conlan Boxing and for the family as well. No doubts in your mind, March 12th,
No
Michael
doubts.
Conlan becomes world champion.
No doubts at all. We travelled here as two, just the two of us. And Kurt and Aaron came as well, just for the play the FIFA in the car. Thanks very much for that.
Lovely, actually.
Yeah, some order. But two of us, that's how confident we are. We don't need to bring everybody in our gym to come and watch us do a fucking press conference. We come here, it's business. Very exciting.
And one word on the Belfast fans, Irish fans that'll be travelling. We'll see him tomorrow. We'll see him tomorrow as well.
Tomorrow I'll be crazy.
Yeah, listen, he's been blessed. You've experienced it with Frampton yourself over the years. Belfast, when they get behind their own, it's hard to beat. It's a city that we don't have much, basically. Boxing is our sport, boxing is our passion. Our boxers in Ireland, in Belfast especially, are back page news, whereas in England and the UK, footballers and all take priority. But in where we are from in West Belfast, boxers are lauded over any other sports on because they understand Belfast is a boxing city.
Mike, we'll come back to you shortly. Ben, see a fired up pair over here. Nothing you wouldn't expect. This fight's got everything. Two tremendous fighters, nice bit of spite as well, and everything on the line. Your charge after a tremendous win against Kanzu, got it all to do in front of his fans and a whole lot of Irish fans on March 12th.
Yeah, it's a tremendous fight, and as you say, as Jamie and Michael were saying there, the Irish fans that come over, they're going to cause a great atmosphere. The Nottingham people, if they've just shown here, they're going to have a great atmosphere. It's going to be a great atmosphere on the night, but every blood, sweat and tear that both these lads have put in over the years from the moment they both started boxing, and boils down to this fight, this moment. And we can all sit here and there's no pressure. Of course there's pressure. There's a hell of a lot of pressure, and whoever can handle that pressure, accept that pressure, and now to use that pressure can create a diamond on the night, or pressure can also burst pipes. So whoever handles that, accepts that, deals with that on the night will be victorious. And it's a fantastic fight, and you know, I think that shows the turnout here. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic turnout tomorrow as well, and it'll be a fantastic turnout on the night as well.
Obviously the fight taking place in Nottingham, people talked about New York and Belfast as well. I guess you have to be happy with that as a trainer, that someone's fighting in their backyard, but also a huge amount of pressure as well. You know, Lee Wood won that world title at fight camp in front of 200 people. You know, he's never boxed in front of a huge crowd in Nottingham. You know, he's headlined in the arena before, but a totally different experience, and I guess important for you to keep him calm as well at the same time.
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the reasons why I say that there's a hell of a lot of pressure on both these guys. You know, this is Mick's first world title shot, and Kanzu was obviously Lee Wood's first world title shot. So it's a dream to fight for a world title, but for Lee Wood, it's always been his dream to box for a world title in Nottingham, and he's got that now. And that's what brings the pressure for Lee, but the experience in that is going to help him with that. He's dealt with pressure before, he's very good at dealing with pressure, and I believe that's going to show on the night.
What is the difference for you in this fight with your charge? I know you're not going to go into game plans, but you always talk about Lee Wood's power as well, and we saw that in the Kanzu fight as well. Is that going to play a major role in this fight as well? And what do you feel will be the difference on the night?
Yeah, I believe, look, it's hard for me to explain, but it still shocks me how hard he hits. It is freakish. Like, I've trained him for over a year now. I still put the pads on and it shocks me. But that isn't going to win this fight. Mick's a very, very versatile fighter. A versatile fighter that can make adjustments through each round, through the round as well. So preparation, tactics, Lee understanding what he needs to do, when he needs to do it, that's going to be vitally important, which is vitally important for both guys because Lee's a versatile fighter as well, as Mick can, box orthodox, box southpaw, box on the front foot, on the back foot. So they're going to play a big part, but Lee's experience and physicality, I believe, will end up showing in that fight.
Lee, obviously going to talk to both fighters here, but yourself, firstly as champion, sitting here now. You know, I said to you before we were here for the Froch Butte press conference, you said you were here that night. I remember you were supposed to fight on that card and it didn't work out for you as well. You were part of that night, that atmosphere, which we'll never forget. You're sitting here right now as a world champion, about to defend your world title in a huge fight in front of what will be a 9,000 sellout at Nottingham Arena. Just put that into words of how you're feeling right now. This is something you've always dreamed of.
I'm extremely focused. You know, like you said, I was here as a young boy watching Froch do it. I was supposed to box on that bill, and I sold about 40 grams worth of tickets and didn't get on because Frampton didn't stop his lad. So I owe the Irish for that. But yeah, to come here to watch Froch do it, it's gave me that experience as well, watching him, how he handles the pressure, watching him on fight night, watching him at the weigh-in, all them things coming through fight by fight. You know, I was taking it all in because I knew eventually my time would come. Like I said, 10 years old, I wanted to do this. I wanted to be here in this seat right now, and I'm not letting this slip. I'm one fight away from a city ground fight, which is my dream, and I'm not letting it slip.
Yeah, I'll ask this question to both of you. Of course, a couple of weeks later, Josh Warrington fights Kiko Martinez, and this fight, I believe, will end up being for the Super Championship with the WBA. You know, a Michael Conlan, Josh Warrington, a Lee Wood, Josh Warrington fight at the City Ground. I mean, there's huge opportunities for both if you come through this fight.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that fight. I'm not even looking at the belt. I'm not bothered about the belt. I'm not bothered about the money. I'm here to do a job. I'm focused on Conlan. I know what I need to do to win. I'm working on the next 7 weeks, practicing, drilling exactly what I need to do. I'm going to come out and get the win, and then after the fight, then we'll look at what's next. We'll look at the belt situation. Because it don't matter, you know, I just keep beating the kid that's put in front of me. And then you get recognition for beating the fighters, not so much the belts, because in recent times, you know, the politics of the belts keeps changing, and it just lets the fighters down, lets the fans down, but just keep doing what I'm doing, really.
I'll talk to you both about this. You know, social media is something that we see. It always dates back to when the account was started, doesn't it? And one of your tweets a couple of years ago, which has been goaded a little bit, was asking for a Michael Conlan.
You don't believe that, do you? You don't believe that, do you?
Well, I don't know. Is that a real one? You know, but just
come on, Ed.
Obviously, your position as a fighter, you know, you come through the tough way, and now you meet this man who you've watched over the years, and I'm sure you rate him as well as a fighter, and you know the task that's ahead on March 12th, but you truly believe that you'll beat this man, and I believe you'll beat him inside the distance.
Absolutely. I respect him as a fighter. He's not a fighter I've watched him for, you know, admired him or thought he does anything expected like different or special. But I do rate him as a fighter. I respect him as a fighter, as in I need to make sure I'm doing everything I need to do to win. He is quite tricky. We've looked at him in great detail. But yeah, social media wise, it seems like he's got all of Team Conlan trying to rattle me. But it is what it is. I'll just give what I get, you know. He can do what he wants to try to throw me off. I just see it as a weakness, you know, just trying to get any advantage he can, and it's not going to help him one bit. In fact, if anything, it's going to do the opposite.
Michael, we saw him requesting a signed glove. Not sure if that was.
When I come to Belfast, I get them so good. I didn't bring the day, unfortunately, but no, listen, full respect to Lee. I don't run the Twitter stuff. Someone else is doing that. I don't pay attention to Twitter, like himself, but yeah, listen, if it's a fate, it's going to happen. Lee thinks he's going that way. What happens when he doesn't?
One thing that, going back to that social media, that I think you said, or whoever posted it from your team, was when he won the world title, was that he does have freakish power for a featherweight. Was that
No, Lee made that one.
Did he make that one up? Okay, we don't know what's real.
But listen, I was delighted for him. I wished him good luck on the week of the fight. I really wanted him to win. I have a lot of respect for him. Seems like a lovely guy. I don't know him personally, but I've heard loads of good things about him. So I have the utmost respect for him as a person, as a fighter. But fuck all that till after the fight, you know what I mean? Let's get the fight done. It'll be on the new in Nottingham Arena, or whatever it's called, in Moorpoint Arena. and we'll be going back to Ireland.
You're a believer in the power, concerned with the power at all as well?
And it's not been I'm a big punchers my whole life. I've had over 250 fights. You know what I mean? In the amateurs, I've sparred.
Name one. Name one big puncher. you've
Oscar
been in with.
Valdez is a bigger puncher than you.
Name
You're
one
not
as a
puncher,
pro.
a big puncher.
As a professional,
I've
name
sparred
one.
Oscar
Name
Valdez
one
for
as a
ages.
professional.
You hit
Just
people-
one will do. One
you
name.
hit one person to
Just
sleep.
one.
Talking about.
Waiting for
What happens when you can't knock me out? What happens when you don't knock me out?
If I knocked you out by
You have
round
one
12,
plan.
if you're looking at me in round 12,
You can't
if you're
knock-
looking at me in round 12 and I haven't knocked you out, guess what? I'm gonna knock you out.
He said that if you're still there, coming out for the 12th round, he hasn't knocked you out, then he's going to knock you.
What happens? What happens if you don't knock him out?
We're not banking. We're not banking on the power, but the power must
What
be.
happens if you don't knock him out?
But
What happens if you
I don't need to knock you out.
he doesn't have to knock Mick out like we
But he just says he will, and he is. So what happens if he can't knock him out?
Lee will win on points.
What happens? So you just said he's going to knock him out. What happens? You just said he's going to knock him out. You just said he did. Though.
He's told people close. Mick boxes deadly, but Lee can knock him out.
I've told him what?
I know.
I've told him what?
He says, I will box the head of Lee, but
You
Lee
won't.
can knock him
You won't
out."
box
You
the head
said
off
this
Lee. You won't box the head off
personally.
Lee.
I know this.
You won't.
You've also
You
told
shouldn't
me
listen to
Sky
this. You shouldn't
Sports
listen.
And you didn't believe he'd win the Reese Mold fight.
No, I didn't
Yes,
say
you
that.
did.
I said Reece Mold was a tough fight.
You don't believe
No, the problem is.
It's hard, but you don't believe in
No,
him
I
as a
do
fighter.
believe in him. I do
Relax,
believe in him.
mate.
I do believe
It's not
in
about you.
him. I do believe in him.
But did you tell Sky then when he was fighting Reese Mold that Reese Mold is going to win?
No, I said that it's a tough fight. Did I say that to you, Eddie? Did I say Reece Mold was a tough fight?
Yeah.
Was a tough fight.
Did you tell
You spar with him.
What?
He has hard spars with him, wars with him, and I flattened him. You have hard spars with Oliver Joyce, and I flattened
Did you say
him. How do you feel?
Sky, did you tell Sky Reese Mold's going to win this fight? I don't think Lee's able to adapt to my style.
No, not at all.
That's a lie.
No, it's not a lie.
So that everything else that you'll say, I'll take as a lie.
Well, if you can back the evidence up of that, because I'll always say, and I've been respectful of Mick and I
You
respect
said-
Mick's skills.
People have said to me, two people with the same thing, with different.
Well,
no
you
agenda,
shouldn't believe all that you
both
hear
said
then.
it.
You shouldn't believe all that you
I've
hear
both said
then.
it.
When I walked in, Ed, with Kanzu, and I said to you, we're going to win this fight, you was a bit like, did I believe in Lee Wood?
Don't start bringing me into it.
No, but the thing is, like, we're not banking on the power. We respect Mick's a very, very
I'm
good
sure you
boxer.
do. I've heard what you
Respect's a
said.
very good
Heard what you
boxer.
said.
He is.
Off the record, I've heard what you
Heard
said.
what you said, mate.
Yes.
We know what you
All-
believe.
all-
So,
easy,
but
easy.
I am very. So I wouldn't get up here and say I'm very, very confident in Lee if I wasn't.
That's good.
So-
You should be.
Of course.
You're trained.
For once.
But he's always been the second checked. The other guys in the gym are better than him, you're saying, and stuff like this. So I think Lee is fantastic. And if I'm being truly honest, Lee, I was probably one of the first to tweet you when you beat Kanzu, because we were working together within the Golden Contract and raving about him in the Golden Contract. I thought he was going to win it, but not to be when Jazzy Dickens beats him. So all the best, all the best. But there was a liar, Ben. I hear one lie, the rest is bullshit.
But how can you
There
say
was a
something's a
lie.
lie? I've said from the start of this, I believe Lee will
I'll
stop.
tell you when I heard this, yeah? I heard this when Josh Kelly fought David Avanesian. And there was nothing to do with me and Lee Wood then. So Josh fought him,
Josh boxed who?
Avanesian.
And what?
And that's when I had heard it.
From who? I wasn't
Someone
at
on
that
Sky
fight.
Sports, mate. That's who. You don't need to listen. It's okay.
I don't need
It's
to.
okay.
I don't need.
Believe in-
I don't need to back that up.
You can believe
I
in
don't-
now, but you don't believe in men, so don't worry about it, mate.
But if you can believe, if you
Relax,
can,
man,
if
it's
you
not
believe
about you.
that,
Just
I'm not
sit down,
bothered.
it's all right.
I'm not
Relax,
bothered.
relax.
You're the one who looked very tense about it. You look nervous.
Relax. Mate, relax. You're okay. It's
I am
okay.
alright.
Relax.
You're the one. You look nervous.
It's not about you, mate. Eddie, what's it?
Well, no, it's not. But you're the one who's mentioning me, saying I don't believe in my fighter.
Eddie,
Well, I believe he's going to win.
Eddie,
It's okay, it's okay.
You know when he's stood in front of
As
me.
long as we've cleared that
When
up.
Conlan's north of me, looking at me in the eyes slightly, he might be looking a different way. And his legs are walking west, he's going to regret all this shit he talked. 100%.
Sure, mate.
I feel like I'm at Frampton Quig all over again here.
What were you in the front? A lanky streak of piss, did he call you?
Yeah, there's something like that, yeah. I've never lived that down.
Don't worry, I'll get up.
I'll get that tomorrow.
No, you'll be grand.
Mick, just talking about the fight itself, I know you study boxing, you know, you been around boxing all your life. What is the difference in this fight between you and Lee Wood? Is it that versatility? Pete, you know, I know you talk about.
I have an answer for anything he does. I have an answer for anything he does. I know what type of fighter he is. Has a decent punch, punches hard, yes, 100%. Slow feet, curly head, I'll punch you head him.
Slow feet, curly head. Apparently that's the analysis of you in this one.
It is, aren't it?
Lee, your final words before I go to everybody else on this table. Plenty of spite in this fight, but more importantly, legacy. Really, to go on and be involved in some of the biggest fights in the sport. Legacy to headline in your hometown in front of a sold-out arena. This fight is everything to you.
Everything. I don't need to discredit him, tell him what he ain't done or performances or anything. You know, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do, and I'm going to go out and do it, and then set up a massive fight, my dream fight at the City Ground.
Thank you, gentlemen. We look forward to Belfast tomorrow. Before we go, just a final prediction. Jamie, I know it's difficult to make predictions, but I want one.
Points, Lego points.
Michael on points. Ben Davison.
Lee Wood by stoppage.
Michael.
I can stop Lee Wood and I can beat him on points. Lee Wood's been stopped by lesser punchers than me. That's all I'll say.
And Lee, finally.
Just make sure you're all there tuning in March 12th.
Okay.
March 12th, Nottingham Arena, live on DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Conlan and Nottingham's own Lee Wood as well.